Greetings. This is your brother Elder Black Light. We won't be long, but we will be strong. Now, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump or any of politicians, Joe Biden, the ones before him. I get all my politics from Allah. He's the policy maker of all times. But you're getting it straight from the devil's mouth. This country is dead. I'm going to let him tell it to you. And then we're going to come back with the black man's remedy.
You play with, I know people that have played with you. Some of the most famous and best golfers of all time have played with you. Why give all that up to make this next run? Why?
Because I think our country is dead. We're a failing nation, and I think we're going to fail completely. We're a nation in decline. I use the term.
Now who you see is the image of Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, who came in 1930. Now, this is very appropriate because next month, a couple of more days from now, is April Fool's, right? And then come Easter. On that same month, that month is telling you that you've been tricked in thinking that the resurrection of Jesus is a white man, when actually in reality it's talking about the original Asiatic black man. But some of you will not believe it, and you're going to go to hell with the white man because you love him more than you love yourself and your own people. And you'll die for him. If he goes to war, you'll send your sons over there, Ukrainian, because it's going to be a draft if they do it this time. But he got a message in there. This is from the Supreme Wisdom Lesson Book extended version. Let's check it out.
In 90 and 120 degrees, the completion of 933-degree cycles and the completion of Hill with the Unit 9 is 1/2 way for the city of Los Angeles and the province of K-Life, California, and the wilderness of the Northern Hemisphere, so says the Almighty God himself. The wilderness of North America has completed itself with the teachings of Islam from the mouth of the Almighty God through its messenger, so says the Almighty God. There is no more water, the substance of life, to be found. There is no life in its branches, nothing but death to be found. The water, light, wisdom, knowledge has been consumed, some by its 10%ers, some by, and mostly taken away by Almighty God. To have the wisdom and the knowledge to survive hell and the doom that is creeping into its brain and the body is to depend on the 5%ers. Within the Nation of Islam, the 5% teachers of righteousness teaches the true meaning of the supreme wisdom that was brought here to the shores of North America by the Supreme Being, Master W. D. Fard Muhammad. Through different phases and complex cycles, the true breakdown of its teachings and meaning, mainly those who have received different degrees of light. Therefore, within the nation as it stands of prison, this procedure has been undertaken with great strides. The rule of the 10% in the Nation of Islam has come to a head, which like any other force who do 10% in the Nation of Islam has come to a head, which like any other force who do not obey its natural laws and mathematics has produced its own destruction. Certain breakdowns in the supreme teachings tell of the catastrophe which has taken place. The poisonous fluid which flows in the brains of those who participate in this unrighteous act against the Supreme God and its people has deteriorated itself. This cancer which produced corruption within God's bounds are paying heavy prices for the goods they have purchased. Therefore, righteousness has produced dissatisfaction against unrighteousness. Any opposition and disobedience or rebellion toward and throughout this 5% cycle results in expulsion and death from the Nation of Islam within the bounds for righteousness has been revealed. Question: where are the 5%ers? Answer: the 5%ers look like you and me. Some are dressed bad. Some are located in the ghettos of hell, the government of the devil's educational system, the law enforcement of the devil's penal institutions, the high government of the devil's civilization. Question: what do the 5%ers look like? Answer: they look like you and me. Some are disguised as high society type individuals, and some are dressed bad. Question: when will they make themselves known? Answer: they are making themselves known every day through their people, mostly the deaf, dumb, and blind who the so-called righteous Muslims have not taught, who have failed to do their duty, which is to teach the uncivilized. There is a punishment for such forgetful action, which the people will inflict upon same for not telling the truth that was taught to them through the messenger of Almighty God. Question: how will this punishment come about? Answer: through mental and physical fighting. Question: where will most of this fighting take place? Answer: most of this bloodshed will take place south, far north, and far west. The west will be the fountain of dripping blood and insanity, murder, rape, 100% total violence. Question: how will most of the righteous Muslims survive? Answer: the only ones to survive this catastrophe will be the Muslims who have taken upon himself to learn, listen, and are completely righteous. The 5% are not completely righteous. There is only one who is capable of holding such a position, your leader and teacher. The 5% are only righteous to the degree of and between 85 and 95%. They have enough wisdom and knowledge to control themselves and make up for the 10% or 5% of unrighteousness lacking in them. Hell is built upon imperfection, or it would not be considered hell. Things are only right to a certain extent, due to the people who constructed it having imperfect capabilities. Question: how can we survive this hell that is due soon to break loose? Answer: survival is through different aspects of light that has been given out. Wisdom, knowledge, and light has been given to fit any and all occasions that would prevail itself at any given time. To recognize different segments of time has been given. If one fails to recognize it before it is upon you, it is one's own fault. There is no amount of pity given out, only total suffering when the time has been appointed. This happens individually and collectively due to certain circumstances prevailing.
To be continued.
Question.